Okay, so recording. So as I was saying, these are the packages that we're going to use. Especially those that are GG themes, collapsible tree, Mapify, Repel, Alt, and Regis. These are reinforcements to the ggplot package. So as I was telling you before, when ggplot 2 started, there were barely geometric objects that can be used. But now, there are tons. No? Ang dami ng pwedeng gamitin na geom objects and other reinforcements that could make your plots really more meaningful and more powerful and more interactive. Pero sa interactivity guys, sa pag-create ng dashboard guys, for me nothing beats Shiny. Medyo mahirap nga lang siya sa simula, pero once you get the hang of it guys, as I said, hindi na kayo babalik sa Flex dashboard kasi mas powerful talaga ang Shiny. Okay, so if you want to run all the chunks of code at the same time, you can do this, no? Ito, run. Okay, run all. Now, but you have to make sure that yung pag naglo-load kayo ng file, huwag kayo gagamit ng file.choose. Remember, dati gumagamit tayo ng file.choose. Okay lang yan guys kung hindi natin gagawin dashboard. Kasi I noticed kapag nag-file.choose, medyo nagkaka-problem. No? So, that's why I ask you to replace, to load na muna yung bike share, at saka yung and the Chicago. Initially, ang ginawa ko doon, file.choose. But I had problems knitting the dashboard. So, from experience, it's best to link it to the file on your to the file location in your computer. So since we have done that, guys, we can run all the chunk, run all, and then ira-run lahat yan, pati yung packages, etc. No? So let's just give it a few minutes. Okay, kung gusto niyo lang naman guys, no? But if you want to run this chunk at a time, no? You can do that. So rinaran niya, pati yung mga plots, no? So mga 50% na siya. Okay, so guys, may pinost din si Christian, no? This is an alternative link to the Mafia event. So thank you, Christian.
Thank you rin po, sir.
Okay, thank you. Attend kayo guys, ha? Then they'll give me anyway a list of those who attended. Magbibigay ako ng bonus points. But again, guys, it's bonus points hindi na ganun. It's more of the learning. And hopefully you start investing also in stocks. Okay, so let's go guys. Let's go through this. We'll go through this quickly kasi yung iba naman na-discussan natin to last time. So sabi natin we're using the Gapminder dataset. Magandang dataset kasi yan guys. Maraming pwedeng gawin sa kanya. But may equal to dito. Okay. And then, okay, so nag-generate tayo ng panibagong variable, GDP, di ba? We're using here dplyr. Okay, ito yung pipe operator natin. We're creating GM1, and then we start with GM, our GM object. Ito yung guys, Gapminder na pinalitan lang natin ng name. Kasi ang pangalan talaga niya, Gapminder, pero masyadong mahaba, no? Ito, may Gapminder dito may GM din. Pareho lang sila, they're the same. But I just replaced it with GM so that in coding mas konti lang yung ilalagay, no? Okay, so GM, and then if you filter natin si year, di ba? We did this last time. Ang year lang, yung maximum ng year lang, which we know is si GM natin. Okay, sa year kasi, ang pinaka-maximum niyan is 2007. No? 2007. Okay, so ang papasok lang dito yung 2007 na years. And then i-arrange siya, we learned this last time, negative population means it will be arranged from highest to lowest. Slice lang yung top 50 lang. Okay? Pag hindi natin lalagyan to ng negative 50, ang makukuha niya yung lowest 50. Okay? The lowest 50 in population. And then, ito yung mutate, guys, it introduces a new variable, GDP is equal to GDP per capita times population. Okay, so we did this last time. So GM1, okay, sandali. Ano nangyari dito? GM1. Okay. So, same number, on 1 to 15 lang pala, no? In-slice na natin yung data natin. As discussed last time, China, number 1 with the highest population kasi we arrange it based on population. So, top 50, ang Philippines yung number 11. And then you have this new variable here, GDP. Okay. So, very powerful, guys, yung dplyr, no? Yung tidyverse for data wrangling, data manipulation, for structured query language, SQL. Okay, then, okay, this now starts your dashboard, no? Okay, by the way, guys, paano tayo makakapag-initiate ng dashboard, di ba? Dito, sa R Markdown, and then from template, no? And then flex dashboard, then okay. Then magkakaroon tayo ng template ng dashboard, siyempre pwede natin ma-modify yan. Alright, so our first, ito guys, anong ini-introduce itong equal sign na to? Minimum of 14. Ano ini-introduce yan? Guys, pag nakita nyo itong equal to, that means, okay, that's a new page, no? What's another alternative to equal to? Pwede natin gamitin yung hashtag, no? So, sa 14 din na hashtag, ganun din yan, panibagong page ng ano. I-delete that. Okay. So notice, meron akong annotation dito, no? Okay. So ang sinasabi ko, itong number 1 na to, ilalagay niya dito sa navigation menu na part A. Okay, later on, I'm going to explain this. So dun sa dashboard, sa interface ng dashboard, magkakaroon ng part A dyan. And then, si number 1 natin, GDP facts and figures, it will be part of part A. Tapos, magkakaroon ng icon, okay, yung GDP facts and figures na list. Okay, so ito data icon FA list. So there are many types of icons, ilalagay ko dito, ano? Okay, so I share this with the class. Asan na yan? I think this. Okay, R provides several free icons. Okay. Yung iba kasi may bayad, but ang dami naman ito, kaya you can make use of the free icons. Okay, let me. Okay. Ito guys, yung URL. Sir, clarify ko lang po, 5 hashtags to proceed to a new page. 14. Migs, so my question si Migs, kung ilang hashtags ang kailangan para gumawa ng panibagong page, it's 14 hashtags or 14 equal signs. No? Thank you for that question. Okay, so balik tayo dito, no? Okay. So dito, ang ginagawa natin, nag-create ng navigation menu, no? Part A ang pangalan. We'll see this later on pag ninate na natin yung dashboard natin. And then, itong number 1 na to, facts and figures, meron siyang icon. As I was saying guys, marami tayong pwedeng free icon na magamit. Ito. Free icons. No? So, ito yung mga pangalan ng icons na yan. You can use that, no? As an icon. So, kung galit kayo dun sa dashboard, pwede yung gamitin itong angry. Okay, so free lang yan guys. Of course, may mga load more icons. Let's see. 1,600 plus yan eh. Pero yung iba, may bayad na. Okay. Pero pag icons lang naman guys, hindi naman kailangan ng FedEx. So may Twitter pa nga eh. Okay. Anyway, guys, so I just gave you a list of the many icons that may be used for free. Ito, I think ang package yan, Awesome Icons. It's a package, Awesome Icons. Let me, tinala natin Awesome Icons package R. Font Awesome pala, sorry, hindi Awesome Icons. It's font Awesome. Okay. So you can install that. I will not do that, guys, kasi na-install ko na. So ito yung documentation niya. Yan, okay? Font Awesome. Okay, I leave you guys to learn more about the different fonts, icons that you may use. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, then itong first page natin, column, no? You can also, by the way, guys, yung orientation na andi dito, no? Columns. No? If you want the orientation to be row-wise, then you change this row. Also, yung vertical layout, guys, pwedeng fill or pwedeng scroll. Pwedeng scroll. Pag fill, fini-fill up niya yung isang page. No? So, kapag, kunyari, marami kayong charts na ilinagay doon, ang disadvantage ng fill, pagkakasay niya lang doon sa page na nakikita niyo sa monitor. No? Pag scroll, pwedeng mag-adjust yan kasi pwedeng yung scroll yung page tapos makikita niyo ibang chart doon. So it depends, guys, on how you're laying out your dashboard. If you just want all the charts to be seen in that page, ang default is fill. And also, by the way, hindi lang columns and rows yung orientation. No? Meron ding orientation na storyboard. Okay, iba naman klase yung storyboard, but it's interesting. Okay, tingnan natin makapaghanap ng ano. Just to show you guys, dash orientation, storyboard, flex dashboard, sample. Tingnan natin hanap tayo ng sample sa internet. Sample. Okay, baka tingnan natin dito Ito parang storyboard to. Tingnan natin to. Para familiar lang kayo na pwedeng row, pwedeng wala dito Examples. Ito yung shiny, guys. No? Let's see some examples. Ito mukhang storyboard to. Ayan, storyboard, guys. Let's just click this. I-send ko lang sa inyo yung yung link so that you can follow along. Okay. So ito, guys, dito sa site na to na sinend ko ngayon, magaganda din yung tutorial niya, no? Yung layout. This, guys, ito yung sinasabi ko na na storyboard. Yan. So, ganun din, guys. Ganun din. Kaso, ang format niya, ito, may sidebar siya dito. Tapos, parang in the form of a storyboard siya, in the form of parang pagkasunod-sunod ng stories. And then you'll see the plot there. Yan. Okay, so for your paper, pwede kayong gumawa ng ng storyboard type. I'm not preventing you from doing that. You can do it storyboard type, or you can do it column-wise orientation or row orientation. Ang advantage, guys, ng storyboard, parang pwede kang kinikwento mo, no? It's a logical flow dun sa pag-discuss ng data. Okay, so that's an example of a storyboard. You can follow this. Okay, dito sa, okay, dali. And by the way guys, ando dun yung source code nun, no? Okay. So this is a very good resource. Okay, andito yung home niya. Okay, so some initial initial discussions. Okay, kung paano gagawin, alam niyo na naman yan. Tapos using overview. Okay, yan ito yung storyboard. No? Yan, storyboard basics. Okay, you can follow along with this. Kikita natin na linalagay niya dito na storyboard true. So yung sa row and column, orientation columns, or dito storyboard true. Okay, so you can follow along with this. If you want to use this, ito naman yung Shiny. Guys, medyo may pagka-challenging din yung code niya kasi iba sa iba kaysa R. Okay, may mga select input, slider inputs, pero ang kagandahan guys ng Shiny. Tingnan natin kung may example siya ng Shiny dito. Ayan, tingnan natin ha. Let's see this. By cast example. By clustering. Okay, it's really powerful, yung Shiny. So if you want to expand your learning, guys, so andito may sidebar tayo dito. Okay, ano bang ginawa niya dito na? Data for, may data siya. Konti lang kasi example, Hindi niya ginawang, parang wala namang interactive to. Okay. Okay, hindi maganda guys yung example na nakita natin. But there are other examples na makikita natin na makikita nyo guys yung power ng Shiny. Okay, anyway, I leave that to you guys. Magaling naman kayo sa pag-search din. Okay, but this is a very useful resource. So, andito yung example sa dulo. Okay. One last guys, tingnan natin to. Ito yung tingnan natin, hindi maganda eh. Sana may mga slider siya. Ito may mga value box. No? Ito naman, another package, HiCharter, very powerful for maps. Okay. All right. Anyway, guys, hanap na lang kayo Pokemon if you want to. This is using HiCharter, may heat map siya. Ang gandang map to. Okay. So this is also an example of ggplotly. Okay, so tignan nyo to, no? Kasi ito, nasa dashboard siya na ginamit yung ggplotly. May mga reasons ako nakita, kaso, ito guys, sample ng slider. Tingnan natin to. Ito yung faithful, naalala nyo yung faithful na, na dataset. Minsan na ginamit natin yon. Volcanic eruptions. Okay. This is an example, guys, of a slider. So mahirap siya, no? Ito, madali siya, sa Shiny. Tingnan nyo. How interactive it is using this input slider. And so nababago yung distribution based on bandwidth adjustment. Okay, this is just an example. So pwede pa yung number of bins, gawin natin 50. So you notice, no? Highly interactive. Yan. Very highly interactive yung. And then may source code pa. Yan ang kagandahan dyan. Yan. And since si Faithful, you can access that with R, with the datasets library. Yan. You can follow this. Okay? Sundin nyo to guys. So may mga may mga functions siya. Select input, slider input, render plot. Okay? Ito yung kailangan para maging interactive yung render plot. So, tingnan ito, runtime Shiny. This is the difference guys. No? Orientation rows. Okay? So medyo iba yung YAML na ng Shiny Pero ito simple lang naman, no? Simple lang. May sidebar tayo. Tapos column. Okay. Sidebar. Tapos under that you have this may select input na nasa sidebar. Kaya kung titingnan natin, guys, yung nasa ano natin, nasa sidebar, ito yung ano yung ano natin, slider input, input at saka slider input natin. Alright, so I hope I have encouraged you enough to also expand your learning by also looking at Shiny. Okay, so balik na tayo dito. Nasaan na tayo? Okay, yung iba guys, ginawa na natin to. Kaya this is the same plot we did last time. Okay, so ito ang feature natin dito, yung theme. Okay, GG themes to. Yung theme WSJ, yung Wall Street Journal. You see that it's a very good theme to use for reports. Tapos ito naman, we also do this. Remember guys? Okay, yung iba dito guys, I'll just browse through it kasi ginawa na natin. We already did this before. Okay, so this one, yung geom density natin. Okay. Yung life expectancy yung pinaplot natin dito. And then, finil natin yung continent. No? Okay, then we have alpha natin na 1/4. Okay, this one I think, yeah, this is the collapsible tree, no? So we have discussed that. And then this now introduces, guys, yung second na page natin. Okay, let's take a look at the second page. Ang pangalan niya, 2 GDP facts and figures. Pareho lang yata, hindi ko napalitan dun sa pangalan sa taas. Okay. Tapos, notice guys, that data navigation menu is equal to part A. Ibig sabihin, magkaka-drop down menu to. Sa part A, dalawa na yung makikita natin, yung number 1 at saka number 2. So they will, dun sa dashboard interface natin, makikita natin part A. Pag clinic natin yun, makikita natin, we will see 1 and 2. Bakit 1 and 2? Kasi, remember itong first page natin, guys. Tingnan nyo yung first page natin. Nasa part A pa rin siya. Okay? Tapos ito list yung icon niya, while the other one, yung icon na linagay ko is table naman. So you can select several icons. Iba-iba. Depende dun sa data nyo. Okay, this one, we didn't discuss this one last time. So I'm creating an object x1. Okay, hindi to ininit, no? Kaya include is equal to false. Kasi ang purpose natin dito, so here we're creating a ggplot. May geom point at saka geom smooth. Okay, this is coming from yung GM natin. Tapos GDP per capita ang nasa x-axis, life expectancy ang nasa y-axis. And then we're mapping the continent. So magkakaroon tayo ng legend niya ng continent. So dinidistinguish between the continents. And then yung object natin is geom point. Okay, so alam natin yan, that's yan, yung scatter plot. And then geom smooth, no? Geom smooth, ibig sabihin, instead of a line, parang smooth line. And then syempre we expect yung standard ano niya, yung error niya, yung band ng confidence interval. Kasi di ba ang default nito yes yung SE. And then yung legend linagay natin sa top. So let's ipa-plot ko siya dito, control C, control V. Okay, pinat ko dito x1. Okay, so ito siya, no? So this is the plot. Yung hindi na tayo naglagay ng title, but of course sana mas maganda kung may title, but you can do that. Yung legend, guys, sabi ko linagay ko sa top. Or if you want to put it in the bottom, then sige, lagyan natin sa bottom. So bottom. X1. Ayan. Zoom. So nasa bottom na yung legend niya, yung continent, no? Africa, America. So if you take a look at this, guys, Last time we learned that yung relationship ng GDP per capita at saka life expectancy, 'di ba ano, 'di ba positive? Notice naman natin dito, medyo dito hindi defined yung ano, no? Hindi well defined yung relationship. Pero dito, clear dito na there's a positive relationship. Okay, pero may mga ano guys, may mga continents na nagpapakita ng seemingly hindi parang ano, parang it's not a linear relationship, no? Itong green na to, Asia to eh. So may mga points dito na mataas yung GDP per capita nila, no? Pero mababa yung life expectancy. So this is what it's telling us. Eh. So interesting, ano kaya to? Mahiyaman na bansa pero yung life expectancy nila mabababa. No? Kasi ang alam natin, dito sa majority ng mga data points natin, kunyari itong blue. So Europe to, di ba? Sa Europe, except for some data here, karamihan nila sa kanila, mataas yung GDP per capita, mataas din yung life expectancy. Sa Africa naman, okay, may mga concentration ng points dito na mababa yung yung GDP per capita, mababa din yung life expectancy. Although meron dito sa points na to na kahit mababa yung life expectancy, mataas din naman, relatively high yung mababa yung GDP per capita, mataas yung life expectancy. Okay, pero ang majority andi dito eh, no? So directly proportional or positive yung relationship. Pero dito sa portion na to, may mga countries na no? Na interesting. So sige, i-close muna natin to. Lagay ko na lang dito sa bottom din yung bottom. And let's run this naman, itong pangalawa. Ganun din yung X at saka Y. Tapos may distinction na by country, ililabel by country. Geom smooth. Okay, take note dito, hindi geom point ang ginamit natin, geom text. Okay. So ang mangyayari niyan, ang ililabel niya by country yung ang gagamitin text instead of smooth. Instead of points. So let's run this. And then X2. Yan. So this is the first time we did this, no? So instead of points, yung pangalan, yung text ang linagay. The objective was, dito medyo muddled, di ba? Hindi natin maintindihan dito. Pero ang concern lang naman natin ito eh. So interesting na si Kuwait, guys, mababa yung niya, mataas yung GDP per capita, pero mababa yung life expectancy. So, bakit kaya ganito? So as a data analyst, ito yung mga bagay-bagay na guys. These are the things, for example, in your paper, in your activity, which I'd like to see. Yung mga insights na nakikita, which we can only see by plotting the data points in a meaningful way. So, quickly nga, tingnan lang natin guys, kasi nasa natin yan, nasa GM. Ito, no? Okay, so kanina ginamit natin to. I-filter natin. Hanapin natin dito si Kuwait. Kuwait. Ayan. Ito. So ito yung panel data ni Kuwait, no? 1952-57. If you take a look at the life expectancy, tumataas naman. Tumataas yung life expectancy niya. Okay? Pero, you notice guys, there's a marked change in the GDP per capita. Noong 1950s, ang taas ng GDP per capita nila. Well, because of the small population. Okay. Ngayon, 2 million sila, no? 2 million, pero bumaba yung GDP per capita nila. Ibig sabihin, their GDP did not grow as much as the population. Mas malaking rate of change ng population kaysa GDP nila. But still, $47,000 GDP per capita vis-a-vis 3,000 ng Philippines, di hamak na ang layo-layo ng yaman ng Kuwait. So you notice guys, habang lumalaki yung life expectancy nila, bumababa yung GDP per capita nila. So that explains this. That explains this. If you take a look at other countries, tingnan natin. Kunyari, China. China dito. No? China, yung GDP per capita nila na 1952, 400. Ngayon, it's almost 5,000. Pero yung life expectancy nila, tumataas din. From 44 naging 72. Increasing consistently over time. So habang tumataas yung GDP per capita nila, tumataas din yung life expectancy. Ganun yung karamihan. Ano? Hong Kong naman, tingnan natin, 60 to 82. No? Over time, tumataas din. Tapos yung GDP per capita nila, 3,000. Ngayon, 39,000. So increasing over time din. So consistent guys, whether it's Hong Kong or China, consistent yung taas. Yan natin yung Philippines. Philippines ito. GDP per capita noong 1952, 1,272. Okay? Almost 2.5 times naman siya. Ito, 2007, $3,190. Okay, ibig sabihin, each individual sa Philippines, on the average, generates GDP of 3,190 noong 2007. Ha? Pero yung life expectancy kasi, from 47, tumataas din siya, no? 71. So it looks like, generally guys, pag tumataas yung GDP per capita, tumataas yung life expectancy. Yun ang relationship nila. Okay, I'm not saying, guys, I'm not establishing that there's a causality. Hindi ko sinasabi na the GDP per capita is causing the life expectancy. So, kailangan ng ibang study yun, yung causality. Ito, relationship to association. Okay, relationship or association is not the same as causality. Ang sinasabi lang natin dito, tumataas si GDP per capita, tumataas si life expectancy. But we're not saying that GDP per capita causes the increase in life expectancy. Okay, so that's something interesting to find out, no? So, ang ganda mag-analyze ng data. Okay, now notice na hindi ko siya pina-include. Bakit hindi ko siya pinasama sa ano natin, sa dashboard natin? Kasi, okay, i-combine ko yung dalawang maps na yan. So here I'm using from Grid Extra. This is another package, guys, that helps the grid arrangement. So with just this simple function, grid arrange, sorry. And then I'm arranging X1 and X2. Ito X1 is a plot, X2 is a plot, and number of columns is equal to 2. So ang ginagawa ko, 1 by 2 na column. So if I run this, dito ko na lang i-run, guys, para mas mapalaki pa natin, ma-zoom natin. Okay, zoom. Nawala na, wait ha. Ayaw niya mag-zoom. Expand ko na lang. Okay. So can you see, guys, yung side by side, no? So maganda rin side by side, guys, kung if you're trying to compare plots. Okay, you can remove this, no? But I leave that to you to experiment, no? And search for yourself. So this plot is the same as this plot, only that here we use geom point, dito geom text. So kita natin ito na si Kuwait ang medyo odd man out dito, no? Kasi habang lumaki yung ano niya, yung well actually reverse siya, no? As years went by, tumaas yung life expectancy niya, pero yung ano niya, yung GDP per capita bumaba. So it's a negative relationship. Negative relationship. Kung ipa-plot natin over time, bumababa yung ano niya, yung kung ilagay natin yung GDP per capita sa y-axis, bumababa siya while life expectancy is going up. From left to right, pababa yung slope niya. Okay, so this is the plot that we're going to include in our dashboard. Okay, so yun, ito. Ang gusto ko lang ipakita dito, guys, yung Grid Extra na pwede natin gamitin. Notice, guys, hindi natin hindi natin linode si Grid Extra, no, di ba? Hindi. Pero nagamit rin natin siya. Remember, because of the namespace ito. Okay? So you can use that a particular package kahit hindi siya nakaload by using this namespace. Okay. Why did I do that, guys? Kung minsan lang naman siya gagamitin, then but it's really up to you. Pwede namang i-ano siya, pwede namang i-load. Okay? Or pwede namang ganito lang. So this one is another plot. Pareho din ipina-plot natin GDP per capita at saka life expectancy. In-scale lang natin si GDP per capita. And then, ang ginamit natin dito, bind two-dimensional. Geom bin two-dimensional. Okay, so two-dimensional siya. Okay, so makikita natin yung pag-change ng, this is the, what do you call this? Anong term dito? Anyway, I forgot the term. So, nag-ano siya from light blue up to dark blue. Okay, so the light blue indicates na ang in-indicate niyan, okay, ano ba yung binibilang dito, guys? What's being counted here? Life expectancy. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Yung may mga life expectancy na mga 70, tapos ang GDP per capita nila is around this figure, no? Konti lang sila. Okay? So ang concentration ng mga data natin, marami andito yung life expectancy nila, tapos andito yung GDP per capita. Dito din sa Africa marami kasi, no? Maraming mabababa yung life expectancy at saka mabababa yung GDP per capita. Ito yung si Kuwait, di ba? Kita nyo. Ito yung si Kuwait. All right, so that's another plot. Okay, using the Geom bin 2. Okay, next, page 3 ng data natin. Okay, dali anong oras ba? Kasi I'm binabudget ko yung time natin kasi dapat matapos natin yung. Okay. Tanggalin ko na nga muna to. Clear ko na muna siya. Okay, then page 3, guys. Now you have another menu, no? Part B na to. Kanina yung unang dalawa, yung 1 and 2, part B. Tapos ito, icon natin, list. Okay, ito, we have done this before, last Monday, so I won't discuss that anymore. Okay, tapos ito din, guys. Naalala nyo yan. That one. And then this one also. Okay, we did that also. This is just the plot of your sinummarize natin. Kinuha natin average na GDP, no? Using dplyr. And then we created a geom line. Okay. Tapos stat identity, di ba? Ibig sabihin ang gagamitin na measure yung mean GDP. Otherwise, guys, kung hindi natin linagay na stat identity dito, mag-automatic siya na count, no? Count ng GDP per capita. But we didn't want that. Ang gusto natin yung average ng GDP. So yun ang naging stat is equal to identity. Okay. So ito yung overtime, di ba? Galaw. Ito yung Africa, talagang medyo mabagal yung Australia talaga, no? Grabe increase ng average GDP. And we said that America and Asia medyo at par. And then Europe is also very, very high. Then yung tables, guys, in aggregate natin. Okay, we discussed that last time. Okay. So, dali, why am I not? Okay. Then page 4 is also part of your part B. Menu natin na part B. And then we have here, the first column is GDP by continent and by country. We have done this. Gawa na natin to, no? Ito yung tree map natin. Okay, let me rerun this. So we said according to scale to, pinakamalaking GDP yung Asia. Hindi sinama yung hindi sinama yung Oceania. So consistent siya with the plot here, di ba? Yung GDP, average GDP. Dito naman GDP yung ginamit. So pinakamalaki pa rin si Asia. As far as these four continents are concerned, then Americas. Not sure kung mas malaki si Europe kaysa America. And then pinakamaliit talaga yung Africa. Okay, so that's our tree map. And then ito, ginawa din natin to last time. Okay, yung geom point natin to. Okay, geom point. Okay, define natin yung shape. Okay. All right. So this one, we also did this last time. Comparison ng ASEAN 5 year in 1952 and 2007. So yun lang kino-compare nila. So geom line to. It's a geom line. Tapos nagkaroon ng geom text. Naglagay siya ng geom text. Kaya nga meron tayo guys dito, no? Singapore. Pwede pang i-edit, medyo ayusin yung placement nila. But I'll leave that to you to discover how to do that. And then ito naman, which I like, ito yung isa sa pinakagusto ko. Ito yung geom dumbbell. Okay. Ano nga natin to guys? Saan galing itong geom dumbbell? Okay. Control. Oops. So galing siya dun sa package na themes, I think, or alt. Alt yata to. GG alt, I think. Yeah, GG alt siya. Okay, and then you have create dumbbell charts. Di ba mukhang dumbbell naman talaga yung ano? So you have usually you have examples here. Alam niyo na yan guys, no? Okay, so that's for page 4. And then for page 5, we start again with the new menu, part C na to. Okay, ito bago to, no? Hindi natin pa na-discuss to. So quickly, so sana na-load nyo na yung data, si Chicago. Tingnan natin guys kung ano laman itong Chicago. I instructed you to run that a while ago, so that should be here. Okay, 1,400 observations. Let's just see what's in here. So city of Chicago, actually this came from a very huge data set consisting of different cities. Ang re-record dito tapos sinabset lang natin from 1997 up to 20,000. Year 2000, December 31. So what are the variables here? Death, yung temperature, daily data to, dew point, okay, and then particulate matter, okay, ito yung mga particles na nasa environment, and then ozone. So this is a study actually of deaths that could have been attributed to ozone layer. So medyo environmental yung data na to. Tapos time, time to sa 36:54. Ibig sabihin yan, I'm not sure guys, no? Pero it should be okay. Okay, I won't answer that muna guys. Hindi ko sigurado kung ano yung 36:54 na to. So anyway, madali namang hanapin kung ano yan sa metadata ng data na to. No? And then year 1997 up to year 2000. Okay, so that's our data in Chicago natin. So let's see what, anong ba? Wait, dito lang ha. Ayun. Natakpan pala yung ano, kaya hindi ko makita yung time clock. Okay, so pinipaste ko yung ano natin. So 30 minutes. Kailangan natin ma-neat yung dashboard natin. Okay, so for this one, for yung temperature natin, so we have one column, 660% yung ano niya. And then ano to? Nag-create tayo ng template na ano na plot. Wala ditong geom, D1, X axis yung date, Y axis yung temperature. D2 naman, pareho yung XY pero pinaset natin yung color. Minamap natin yung color by season. Okay, so let's go down here. So we have this plot, figure 12. So G1 is, so ginagamit ko itong base plot natin na to, na D2. So I'm creating a geom point. Tapos may label siya. I gave it a title. Tapos I'm using the theme economist. Okay, this is from GG Themes. Tapos yung scale color din niya, yung galing sa economist. And then i-plot natin. So let's see what this is. Pakilagyan na lang guys sa 1997 to 2000. Hindi ko yata nalagay dyan. Okay, so let's run this. So si G1, how does G1 look like? Yan. So ito yung economist theme. Maganda rin siya, no? Okay, nasa taas yung ano niya, yung ang default na economist theme, nasa taas yung yung legends, no? Kasi we are mapping this according to di ba si D2 ang sabi color is equal to season. So we're mapping this by season by giving it different colors. So ito yung color niya. Okay, so si summer, guys, itong blue na to, dark blue is spring, winter, ito yung parang gray na to. So you can see the changing of the seasons. No? Nasa time natin to pinaplot. So winter, pag winter, mabababa yung temperature. And then it goes to spring. No? Spring is the time na tumataas yung temperature. Tapos nagpipeak siya, summer na yan. And then summer, slowly bumababa yung temperature. Okay, and then autumn minsan nagsisimula dito. Okay, and then nag-autumn na, and then winter. Itong portion na to. Okay, so you'll see the development over time. Okay, so that's the plot, guys, for this. For this, itong G1 na to. Okay, then proceeding, guys, we'll have another plot. Ito naman, ganun din, ano naman to, si temperature at saka si dew point. So anong relationship ng temperature at saka ng dew point? So we're using a geom point here, and then yung label natin sa X at saka sa Y. Tapos naglagay tayo, guys, ng geom text dito. Okay, iba to dun sa text kanina, no? Because yung text natin dito, we're using it as a label. Okay, kanina kasi yung geom text natin, that was in lieu of the geom point. So ito yung position ng text, x-axis natin na 25, y-axis 60. And then, stat unique, and then family, banger. So I leave you guys to discover kung ano tong option na to. And then size, and then color, dark cyan. So when we run this, ito yung nakikita natin. So you can see here a positive relationship between dew point and the temperature. Habang tumataas si temperature, tumataas din si dew point. Pero yung annotation dito, ito. So that means kakapaglagay tayo ng annotation. Kakapaglagay tayo ng text as a label. No? Geom text, nakita natin, this is a useful annotation. Ito yun. Okay, so sa mga plot nyo, pwede nyo gamitin to, guys. No? Pwede nyo lagyan ng geom text yung plot. Okay, give it, of course, a very useful description. Okay, then another plot, year and temperature. Ito, what I like about this, guys, is yung paggamit ng GG ridges. Yung GG ridges, it allows us to plot by ridge. So let's take a look at this. Temperature, and then sea year, guys, pinaplot natin as a factor. Okay? As a factor siya. And then, ang fill natin, yung iba't ibang color ng fill niya is by year. So what will happen here is that we're using GG Regis. Sa GG Regis, ginagamit natin density function. Diba? So density function, alam natin yan, parang curve yan. Pero, by Regis siya. Okay? Eh, ang Regis natin, guys, di ba, finactor natin si year. So that means 1997 hanggang year 2000. And then we have the label, and then yung theme, Regis. So ito yung naging plot niya. Okay, so you see this, a nice, beautiful rendition of the plot for the different years. So makikita natin dito, siguro 3 years naman, no? Kaya hindi masyadong apparent. No? Pero you notice na yung minimum ng 1997, halos pareho lang naman dito sa 2000, year 2000. Halos pareho lang naman yung mga maximum nilang temperature at saka minimum na temperature. Okay, except for ito 1998, medyo mataas siya, no? And then mababa siya compared to the rest, 2000. Kasi may mga negative tayo dito na negative na Fahrenheit. Dito, 0 Fahrenheit. Okay? So you can see here a comparison ng range ng temperature by year and plotted as in Regis. No? Yung Regis ganito. No? Tapos, geometric ridge, and then yung theme nito, theme Regis. Okay, so it's a nice way to plot. No? Ganda. Gusto ko tong Regis. No? Okay, you can use this, of course, sa activity nyo. Okay, ito naman, ang ginawa natin dito, yung data natin, okay, if you filter natin si chick, tapos si season, ang gagawin natin, ang season gagawin lang natin, summer at saka winter. So dalawa lang, guys. Walang fall, walang spring, at saka walang autumn. Okay, then ito yung mapping natin. Okay, ang fill natin by the season, by the year, and by the season. Okay, and then ridge din to. We're also using ridge. Okay, theme ridges then. And then may label tayo. Okay, so this is what this looks like. Okay, by year then, yung ridges natin. Pero, okay, naka-separated si summer at saka si winter. So if you can notice here, guys, kitang-kita natin talaga na si winter talaga siya yung yung nasa mababang temperature. Tapos si summer, siya yung nasa mataas na temperature. Obviously, guys, but it's a good depiction ng dalawa lang, no? Si winter at saka si summer to distinguish the two. May konting overlap. So noong 1997, merong winter na mainit, guys, no? Parang summer siya. Noong 2000 din, may mga winter months na, hindi dito, guys, halos peak ng summer. Okay, so what does that tell us about the temperature now? So possibly, it's telling us na may mga, may mga, let's say, mangilan-ngilan, no? Kasi maliit lang naman to, no? May perhaps outliers na yung winter season, okay, mas mataas, mas pa nga, no? Umaabot dun sa peak ng summer, yung temperature. Okay? So you can see that here. All right, so that's also a good thing to discuss. No? So sabi ko nga, guys, dapat just like in the previous activity, may discussion dapat yung data. And in fact, the discussion you can put in the sidebar. Pwede rin ilagay doon. Okay, so ito naman, guys, yung violin to. Violin, alam natin na violin to. And then naka-flip lang siya kasi yung violin alam natin nakataas eh. So flip lang natin to. No? So we have here, again, we're plotting yung season at saka ozone 3. Okay, tinitingnan natin kung saan mas mataas yung ozone 3. Okay, dito nakikita natin na yung ozone 3 guys, tumataas yung level niya pag spring and summer, pag maiinit ano. Pag winter, konti lang siya, hindi siya yung pinakamaliit. So it turns out guys na kapag winter, ang question, bakit kaya mas mababa yung ozone? Surprisingly, kasi pwedeng pag winter, di ba, mas ano, mas maraming consumption ng ano ng oil kasi heater, okay? Mas nagko-consume talaga ng oil kapag winter. Pero ang iniisip ko rin, yung ozone kasi can also be attributed to emissions, no? Pag summer and spring, maraming nagta-travel. Okay, so perhaps that's also the cause. No? Andito sila. Okay, pero on the average, guys, pag winter, andito yung ano niya, yung average ng ozone. Ang autumn, siya yung pinaka mababang average. Okay. All right. Now, another way to do this, guys, is use a sine function. Pwede rin natin gawin na sine function. Ang pagandaan nito, guys, okay. So, however you want to put the data, no? Kung gusto niyo yung mga points nasa labas din, but you can put it also inside. So, mag-a-adjust yung ano yung violin na G yung violin natin. And this is coming again from GG force. Coming siya from GG force. And then the function is G yung sine. So, ina-adjust niya. Okay? All right. So, a few more. Okay, magta-time na. So, kailangan medyo ito guys, another another plot which I want us to look into. Okay, here we're setting that seed. Alam niyo naman yan guys. Nagsaset ng seed tayo kapag nag-randomize tayo. So we're creating an object here called sample. Sample to. Tapos it's coming from the Chicago data and then i-group by natin. Group by season. And then dplyr natin, again, sample underscore frac. So ano tong ginagawa ng sample underscore frac? Okay, so you can, again guys, yung ever faithful na tool natin. Yan, so this is coming from dplyr, no? Na dating life cycle, okay, tapos sino-proceed na siya. No? Sample.frac, ang life cycle niya, so itong function na to, yung na-supersede na. Ibig sabihin, may mas bago na. No? So dapat pala ito ginamit natin, slice sample. But anyway, they will not be deprecated in the near future. Ang ibig sabihin guys, ang deprecated, tatanggalin na siya. No? So, kunyari, may mga functions kaya nga guys, dapat nag-update tayo kasi may mga functions na dinideprecate na. Pag sinabing deprecate, hindi nagagana yun kasi tinanggal na dun sa package. Pero ito nang sinabi naman dito, they will not be deprecated in the near future. Retirement means that they will only perform critical bug fixes. So we recommend moving to the newer alternative. So instead of that, yung ano natin, sample.frac, mas maganda kung ginamit natin si slice underscore sample. Okay? So, ina-explain dito yung usage niya. Okay? Tapos may example dito, no? Okay, so ang ginagawa nito guys, since nag-create tayo ng sample, kukuha siya ng fractional part dun sa chick. Ang nilagyan natin, 0.01. So 1% lang ng chick na dataset natin, Chicago na dataset. Ito, mga 15,000 yung respondents natin. So, kukuha siya ng 1% dyan. Okay? Kukuha siya ng 1%. So, that means mga 15 or 16. No? Okay, so dito na tayo. No? Okay, so this is the result. Then you can see guys na yung mga colored yung ano, no? Yung colored to, ito yung mga kinuha niya na sample. Okay, so dapat pareho tayo niyan and we can name that. So, okay, so ito guys. So ggplot natin yung as a point, no? Yung sample data natin. Okay? And then lalagyan natin ng label, repel. So this is from ggRepel. Lalagyan natin ng label yung mga sample natin, guys. Okay? So again, parang text to, dinalagyan natin ng label yung yung object na season. As a label daw, okay, yung seasons natin. Okay, yung season guys na okay, season pero dun sa ano yan, dun sa sample lang ha. So we're using the data na sample. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, this is also a good way to yan guys. Can you see that? So linagyan natin ng mga label using yan. Okay? So autumn. Okay, nawala. Minsan nawawala eh. So anyway, ito yun guys. No? Okay. So I have a few more minutes. Kailangan matapos na natin to guys. Okay, so this is another plot guys. Okay, another plot. Ito, nag-side by side ulit ako dito. No? So G20, G21. Run natin itong G20. So density plot yan guys. And then ito, G21. Tapos nag-grid na naman tayo guys, grid arrange. Ng G20, G21, ito yung lumabas. So sinide by side niya guys. No? Yan. So this is a geom density, kaso two-dimensional. No? So ito yun guys, 2D. No? 2D siya. Ang plinat natin si Chicago, yung temperature, at saka yung ozone. Okay. So lastly guys, itong bike share, okay, I told you to load this already. Okay, take a look at this. Column, no? So number 7 guys, part 7 nasa, page 7 nasa part D siya. So FA signal, so, iba't ibang FA yung ginamit natin, yung icon. So take a look at this column, that sidebar. So dito mag-create CR ng sidebar. Okay, tapos linagyan ko ng pangalan, notes about bike share data. So we have here yung column. Okay, so yung column guys, geom histogram lang yan. Okay, ito. Okay, dapat in 1 minute makapunta na tayo sa ano. Tapos ito guys, ito, I just want to show this to you. We can create boxes. No? So dito, this is another column, no? So sabi natin dito na median mean, we're creating an object called median mean. Tapos kinukuha natin yung median from the trips data frame, yung duration seconds divide by 60. Kasi yung duration guys, in minutes yan. Kung i-divide natin ng 60, magiging, in seconds yan. If we divide it by 60, magiging minutes. And then, i-round off natin na 1 digit lang. 1 digit, ibig sabihin, walang yung sa decimal to. No? So if we run this, yung median niya, makukuha natin. So dito na yan, nasa object natin, sa baba. So the median is, yan, 8.9, 1 decimal place. So yung median ng duration in seconds, nasa gitnang value niya, the 50th percentile is 8.9. Okay, tapos, ito, guys, value box. Pag value box, guys, and then parang clock siya, gagawa ito ng parang rectangular object. Okay? Ang ilalagay natin doon yung median mean, yung value ng median mean. Tapos ito yung caption. And then may icon tayo, yung clock. So if we run this, okay, ito nagsabi lang sa atin na may value box tayo. Ito yung value box natin, which we will see guys dun sa ano natin, sa dashboard. Alright, this one is another object, no? Gauge naman to. No? Gauge. Sandali guys, sandali. Okay, sorry guys. So ito guys, nag-create tayo ng variable na object, number of trips. So ilan lang yung trips ng ano ng may question ba? Hindi. Hindi. May question dito. Yung output ng value box is blank canvas. Hindi. Mamaya, pag ninit natin, makikita natin ha. Okay. Tapos ito naman guys, gauge. No? So yung gauge, okay. So ito guys, maintindihan nyo na to ha. Simple lang yan. Yung number of trips. Tapos short trips are the trips that are less than 600. So less than duration na seconds, less than 600, ibig sabihin, less than 10 minutes. Tapos kinuha lang natin yung percentage, no? Yung short trips divide by the number of trips. That gives us the percentage of short trips. And this gives us, i-run natin to quickly, this gives us 60. Okay? 60 to, no? 60%. Kinuha lang natin yung number of trips na less than 60 minutes. So, 10 minutes pala. And then gagawa tayo ng gauge, no? Minimum 0, maximum 100. And then ito yung sectors niya, no? Ito yung sectors. Success, warning, danger. Depende yan guys sa example lang to, no? Depende yan sa kunyari grades to. Siguro 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. No? And then ito yung range natin. I know you understand that naman, no? Okay, tapos itong last guys, sorry, hindi na natin maano to. This is just another plot. Ano lang naman siya, yung it's a box, bar lang siya, no? Okay, so let's now do this guys. Sorry magta-time na kasi. I-knit na natin, kindly knit guys, knit. So pag nag-knit guys, paki-chat na lang dyan para malaman ko kung nag-knit sa inyo. Okay, good. Could you kindly chat guys, sa chat box natin kung nag-knit yung okay, good. All right. So, this is our dashboard. Yan. Okay. So, di ba? 4 parts siya. So, this is a neat way to do it, no? Kaysa, well, depende sa ano nyo, kung related naman yung, ito, in-assume natin na related yung mga topics na to, no? So, sa part A, dalawa siya. Ito yung 1. Ito yung list, guys. Tapos, ito yung table, no? Yung icon, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Tapos, ito yung, ano naman, ito yung, nakalimutan ko yung pangalan, no? So, then we click this, lalabas tong plots natin dito. Sa part B, life expectancy. Okay. Patient focus. Okay, we did this. Part C, dalawa din linagay natin. Okay, ito yung natin density. Geom density na nasa ridge. And then, okay. You can see this. And then part D, bike share. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo guys, no? Na may sidebar. We could have placed this here sa A, no? Parang may initial na explanation, no? So, pwede rin kada part maglalagay kayo ng ano, ng sidebar, no? Okay, you can dito lang natin nilagay sa dulo dito, notes about bike share. Then you can put notes here. Okay, so pwede yan. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa guys ng value box, no? Yan. So yung clock ito, no? Nilagyan natin ng ano. And then ito yung ano, yung gauge natin. 60, so notice 0 to 100. Pwede rin yun yung ano yung color niyan, ma-change. Okay? So it's already time guys. So ito yung next activity nyo. Be creative, no? I hope you learned something sa ano sa plotting natin. It's a very interesting ano, it's a very interesting topic, and it's also one of the things that are in demand now, yung capability to create dashboards, no? Okay. So with that, guys, I bid you a happy afternoon, and ingat kayo, no? Deadline for the activity is next weekend, no? The weekend after next. So you have around 1.5 weeks to do that. Gagawa ako dun sa ano natin sa G Drive. Kung ano yung data na gagamitin nyo. Again, pwede yung dati nyo or pwedeng iba, pero walang repetition. Okay? Okay, so no more questions, guys. I'll stop recording.